Wow. Speaking in front of some other people, a presentation. How do you feel when you are asked to give a presentation? Did you know that speaking in front of other peeparoos is one of the biggest fears that people have? And what if the presentation itself is not the problem? What if it's deeper? That is today's stability moment. Doo, doo, doo. So I was recently just talking with someone who has the person that she manages needed to give a presentation and practice with her to give a presentation to her boss. So basically, this individual who is incredibly capable and competent that she manages needs to give a presentation to her boss. He was going to practice. She said, "Let's practice, so you could practice giving the presentation." And this totally competent person went just in front of her, just went into his. He said his mouth was dry, and he turned beet red, and he started to read the first slide, and just couldn't even get it out. He went into fight or flight, she said. He went into survival mode. And one of the biggest fears that most people have is speaking in public. And she could just see his face turn beet red, and she just felt all of that. And he was stuttering, and he was struggling to speak. So this is what fascinated me about this, and it wasn't just what happened inside his body, but when she was telling me about his self-talk, and he was saying, "I've always hated public speaking. I've never done well. I've never been able to do presentations." And that self-talk, it's like saying, "I'm shy," because then guess what? You are. So the repetition of this, these are programs. So this is a program, public speaking, speaking in front of even one person or two peeparoos or whatever it is. Like literally, it is a program, because those are not statements like what he was saying, that self-talk. Those are not statements about a presentation. Those literally are stories. Those are statements about himself. That's identity that he has repeated over and over and over again, to where he literally can't. He will go into fight or flight, because that's what he says. He's saying, I've had a bad experience, and this is who I am. And guess what? His nervous system says, yeah, the brain supports that, and the nervous system just goes crazy. The nervous system is listening to that, and that is what's happening with the heat rising into his face, and the fight or flight, and the stammering, and struggling to say a word. So, most people are thinking presentation. I wrote this out. Presentation equals fear, but it's often presentation equals the old programming, which is the old self-talk, which is fight or flight, and then you get the symptoms, whatever they are, of you turn red, you dry mouth, the chest is tight, you can't speak, you look like this, saucers for eyes. So the presentation doesn't create the fear. The presentation activates the program running in the subconscious that you know is there, but it's literally now the whole nervous system is running. And the reason you know it's there is because you have repeated it, and now you believe it. It has become not a story, but your truth, your reality. You have created that reality by saying that over and over again. So the word presentation became a trigger, not because presentations are, you get up there and you're going to fall off and make a fool of yourself, but there's like what was he most likely thinking? I am going to make a fool of myself. They're going to laugh at me. This is going to be horrible. I'm going to embarrass myself. Something, I'll forget everything that I learned, or everything that I know. I'll just forget it in that moment. And so that is the survival. That is the amygdala is firing, saying run or fight or freeze or all of that. And then you don't know what to do. But that dry mouth, the hot face, his stomach, he said, the racing thoughts. So pause. Right here, when that happens, remember we talked about that space, like literally what you say you want to do, and then you don't do it. Like, why don't you? And it's because you're literally telling, there's programs running, and a program was activated, and now you're allowing that, it's just like, whew, it just happens because it's an activated program. So right when you know you're going to do something, like speaking in public or any of that, it's literally, one, if you know you're going to do it 30 days before, start rewiring your brain so that your brain supports you. But if all of a sudden you're just thrust into this situation where you have to speak, you know, it's even like at a party and you want to say something, or in a meeting and you want to say something, it's like you have something really importante to say and your mouth is dry. It's like, if they call on me, or, you know, or when I have to introduce at a meeting or any of those things, and it's just like, I don't even know what I do. I don't know what my name is. I don't know, that freezing and all of that. Like, this is the public speaking, the number one fear. And it's feeling like you'll be ridiculed, or you'll be ashamed of what you said, or people will laugh you off, or all these things, all these stories. And then our society, literally, with movies about it, and, you know, seeing people look stupid, and you know, for themselves, they feel stupid, and they don't do good. And I mean, there's just society, just like the number one biggest fear. What if society altogether said, that's a program, let's rewire that program. So anyway, take a vagal breath, 3 vagal breaths, and so that's like, say, 4 in and 6 out. Just the exhale is longer, and just slow down your thoughts, slow down the chemicals, because that chemicals cascade of fear. And I'm going to give you, and ask yourself, what am I saying to myself right now? Like, right in that moment, after you take those breaths, what am I saying to myself right now? The reason I'm asking you that is because you are more than likely saying, there's something in there, part of the program, that you can identify relatively quickly. Like, maybe you're saying, this is going to kill me. But you're probably going to be, when you ask yourself, what am I thinking right now? Like, what am I saying? Because that self-talk, the self-talk that I told you before, that what was he was saying, you know, that that I've never been able to do presentations, I've never done well, I've always hated it. First of all, here's another thing. When you say hate, like, literally, you're creating separation. And the more that you hate something, like, the more emotion you put into it, even if you just say, I hate when that happens to me. That, just that word, the brain, hate, it's like on the scale of, like, that's the worst, and all of that. And so therefore, what you resist persists. So the more that you hate something, the more you're going to see it pop up into your field, because you're focused on it. I don't like that. You're focused on what you don't like, what you don't want, rather than what you do want, what you can do, rather than what you can't do. You see what I'm saying? It's like, literally, doing the presentation. You're focused on what is bad, is negative, is what's going to happen, and you're like foretelling all these horrible things. And literally, if you were to take those vagal breaths and say, what am I telling myself right now? And if you started to rewire your brain at least 30 days before a presentation with the right programming that's in the, always in the description, 30 days free. You could rewire it for 30 days, do it free. Start to rewire your brain with positive self-talk, self-esteem, because literally it's self-esteem. And the foundation of all self-talk that is in that program that Shad Helmstetter created is all, the foundation is self-esteem. You could start to rewire your brain for this, because literally getting up and speaking on stage, or speaking to one person or 2 people, or, you know, to anyone that's like public to you, or you want to say something in a meeting and you just, like, your mouth is dry, but you want to say it so badly. Like, it's a program. It's a program that is stopping you, holding you back, sabotaging you, is counterproductive. Like, literally, it's a program, and you can rewire that. So let's see what else I wrote here now. Your microstability. Okay, that is to take that vagal breath. So we already said that, and you're going to ask yourself. But I'd say I take 3 because you really want to calm the nervous system, and then the new self-talk, you're going to, oh, and also you're going to ask yourself, what am I saying to myself right now? That's really importante because you want to know what that program, it's like it can often reveal the program that is running. And so instead of your self-talk phrase is, instead of I've always hated this, you say I'm learning to become comfortable speaking in front of people. Instead of I've never done well, I can improve with practice. I think it's better like I will improve with practice. Like you're telling your brain like I always improve with practice. People will tell you, like my dad used to always say absolutes, like always, never. But I'm telling you, when you rewire your brain and you say I always, and you repeat, your brain supports you with I always do better when I practice my presentation, or I can improve with practice. So instead of I've never been able to, try I'm becoming more capable every time I do this. Actually, I'm more capable not the becoming, that's situational self-talk. Anyway, I don't know why I wrote that. I'm more capable every time I do this. I'm more capable every time I do this. And that is in the present tense. You're saying this is now, and you're getting better and better, and you're telling your brain, this is what we're doing now. Literally, you are rewiring your brain for success in that. So the goal, literally the goal is to recognize, if you can, the old program. And we know what the program is. The program is fear of speaking in public. Even if it's for one person, or the second it's like, let's practice your speech. It's like, I know, I've been there, literally. So it's like you really want to know, the goal is when the old program is activated. You want to know that it's activated, and you are, because awareness creates stability. Why does it create stability? Because when you stabilize, so the micro stabilities is like the vagal breathing, and taking, say, 3 breaths and saying I'm safe, and stopping that cascade of all the chemicals going through the body of the adrenaline and cortisol, and like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. and that stability, just doing that creates capacity. This is the PDF that you can download for free. It is the stability spiral that creates capacity. Capacity then creates clarity. So now you have more clarity around what you're doing. And then the clarity, when you have clarity, now you have choice, not coming from survival, where you're like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna die on stage. All of that. And choice that is coming from, and choice with action, like empowered action. Choice creates empowered action, meaning now you have a choice. Now you can take an empowered action, and that creates confidence. The more you repeat. And so the more you rewire your brain, we talk neuroplasticity here. Neuroplasticity is your brain's ability to rewire until you take your very last breath, rewire itself. So I keep going like this. I know it's like that crazy, but I'm telling you, you can rewire your brain with the programs that you choose. So the input, this is what I'm saying, it's like the input, it's going into the brain, and it's repeat of the programs you choose. Not of fear, not of, oh my God, I can't speak in public, equals your output. The input, it will be your output. So no matter if you're watching television every night, the news and everything else, and you're wondering why you're anxious when you go to bed and you can't sleep, and you wake up at 3 a.m. and it's like you just feel anxious, and it's like, what do I have to do tomorrow? And your body is still, the nervous system is still activated, and the brain is supporting that. And so the point is, with public speaking or anything else, any fear, like it's coming, besides the tiger coming to eat you, besides an actual harm to your physical person, it's here. It's all here in your mind, a story, and it's a program. It's a program that has been repeated. Like, I'm so afraid to speak. I can't speak in front of people. I can't, like, I'll just pass out and die if I have to speak. And the more that you say those things, those are the things that happen. your mouth goes dry, like all, I mean, you could literally could pass out and die because you're telling yourself, this is killing me, this is going to kill me, this is going to kill me. And I know I've heard stories of people have kept saying things, and then it's like, and can you believe it? Like, that's what happened. Because you're telling the brain, set up the conditions for this to happen. So set up the conditions for your success. That's what you do. You set up your conditions for success. I love that. Don't you? My microphone just fell. So anyway, I love you so very, very mucho. That is today's stability moment. And you can do this. I believe in you. It's like you can rewire your brain. You were born with unlimited promise and potential. And 2 fears. You were not born with the fear of speaking in public. That's a program. You were born with the fear of falling and the fear of loud noises, so you can survive. Some people will say that's not true and there's other things, but the point is, you literally, a little baby, if you go throw it up in the air, it goes, and and if you make a big clap or something, it looks, right? So it's very aware of those 2 things. But if you put it on a stage and there's a million people in front of it, it's like, it's just looking around, big eyes, full of promise and potential. It's ready to rock. But then it gets programmed. And now it has fear of getting on the stage and public speaking. It's a program. Rewire the program with self-esteem. The program is self-esteem, 30 days free. Go into the description, get the 30 days free. And I promise you, at the end, if you're doing it every single day, not even for public speaking, for anything, like for living a quality life, for stopping smoking, for losing weight, for getting healthy, for financial strength, financial success, for selling, for children, for teens, for girls, for women, like there's self-talk for all, so mucho in that. And my suggestion is get for self-esteem, because the basis of all self-talk in that is self-esteem. So there you go. You were not born with a fear of speaking in public. You just weren't. That's just not how it works. You acquired that. It's a gift. It's a gift, but you get to change that. So that's a story. So as always, shining my light to brighten yours. We will see you tomorrow for day, where are we, 69? I think we're day 69 today. Oh my gosh, I'll put it on the title, but maybe it's 68. I don't know. It's 68 or 69. So we'll see you for tomorrow. And look, it got so late out here. I was like, okay. But look, it's nice. It's a little bit windy, but I got my, oh, that's why it's falling, because I have that. It's kind of heavy. So hopefully you were able to hear and it wasn't too far off. We'll see if this is a good video and I'll upload it. If it is, okay. Love you so very, very mucho. We will see you tomorrow. Ciao.